The wind whispered through the old trees, carrying the scent of fresh earth across the fields. It was a calm morning on the farm, until a voice loud and full of rage tore through the silence like a knife. "You useless old fool, you filthy good-for-nothing!" The boss's voice thundered, dripping with contempt. His face was red with anger, eyes sharp like blades. "You can't even clean a yard properly. I don't know why I still keep you here." The old man stood frozen, his hands gripping the worn wooden handle of his hoe. His fingers were calloused, cracked from years of labor. He kept his head down, not daring to speak. Because what could he say? Words would only bring more humiliation. The boss wasn't finished. He paced back and forth, throwing words like stones. "Look at you. An old wreck, a piece of trash with no future. You'll never be anybody in this life. You're worthless, useless. Even to make mistakes, you're no good. Get out of my sight before I lose my patience for good." With that, he turned and walked away, his boots pounding against the dry soil. A mocking laugh echoed as he disappeared into the distance. The old man stayed there, motionless, staring at the ground. The earth that had been his life for decades. The earth that now felt like a prison. His chest tightened, his heart ached. He blinked, and a single tear rolled down his sunburned cheek. Memories rushed through his mind, long days of sweat and hunger, nights when he worked under the moonlight to finish tasks, the years he gave to that land. And now, this. Slowly, he walked toward a large tree at the edge of the field. His steps were heavy, dragging through the dust. He sat in the shade, resting his head in his hands. And for the first time in many years, he cried. He cried like a man whose soul had been crushed, who felt invisible in a world that never cared. But deep inside, a small voice whispered, "Don't give up. Life isn't done with you yet." The next morning, he rose, as he always did, before the sun. His body was tired, his heart bruised, but he went back to work. Back to the same earth that had witnessed his tears. He picked up his hoe and began to dig. Each strike against the ground was a mix of strength and despair, pain and resilience. Then something happened, something strange. The blade of the hoe hit something hard. It made a sound that didn't belong to the earth, a metallic echo. He frowned and struck again, the same sound. Curious, he knelt down and brushed the soil away with his calloused hands. And there it was, a strange, heavy stone, rough on the outside, but with a shimmer that caught the morning light. His hands trembled. He ran to the river, washed the dirt off, and when the water cleared, his heart almost stopped. It wasn't a stone, it was a diamond. A massive, pure diamond that sparkled like fire in his hands. His breath quickened, his mind spun. He didn't even know what to think. He wrapped the diamond carefully, ran to town and showed it to a jeweler. The man's eyes widened in disbelief. "Sir, do you know what you have here? This is worth a fortune. You're a rich man now, a millionaire." The old man stood frozen, tears welling in his eyes. A lifetime of humiliation, and now this? It felt like a dream. Days passed, news spread. The man who was once mocked, the man everyone looked down on, was now one of the wealthiest landowners in the region. But he didn't let pride consume him. He didn't change his heart. He bought land. He built homes for poor families. He opened schools. He gave jobs to men and women who needed hope, because he remembered. He remembered what it felt like to be at the bottom. And in the quiet of his nights, sitting on his porch under the stars, he whispered to himself, "Never let anyone tell you who you are, because life always has the last word." Years passed. Time flowed like a quiet river, carrying away the pain of old wounds but leaving deep scars behind. The old man, once broken, humiliated, and forgotten, was now living a life no one could have imagined. The diamond he found had changed everything. He became a wealthy man, but not an arrogant one. He never wore pride like a crown. Instead, he wore humility like a second skin. Despite his fortune, he still walked among his people, greeted neighbors with a warm smile, and worked with his hands whenever he could. He used his wealth for good, built schools in poor villages, provided clean water where there was none, and offered jobs to those who had been cast aside by life, just like he once was. He knew what hunger felt like. He knew the cold grip of hopelessness, and because of that, he vowed to be the light in the darkness for others. But even as joy surrounded him, the past never fully disappeared. Some nights, sitting alone on his porch under the vast, starry sky, he thought about the harsh words that once broke him. "You're worthless. You'll never be anyone. Those words were like ghosts, fading but never gone. Then came the day that would close the circle. It was a sunny morning when a simple, dusty car stopped in front of his grand estate. The driver's door opened slowly and a man stepped out. His clothes were worn, his hair now gray, his shoulders heavy with defeat. He walked slowly toward the porch as if each step carried the weight of his past mistakes. The old man saw him from afar, and in an instant time froze. The memories came rushing back, the shouting in the fields, the humiliation, the tears he hid under that same sun. The man who once crushed his spirit now stood there, broken. The former boss cleared his throat, his voice trembling as he spoke. I need to talk to you." His eyes avoided the old man's gaze. "Things have changed. My business, it's gone. I lost everything. I have nothing left. No home, no work. Please, I need help. Any job, anything you can offer." For a long moment, silence hung between them. The air felt heavy, charged with memories. The man expected rejection, maybe even humiliation in return. After all, wasn't that what he had given? But instead, the old man simply looked at him, his eyes calm, his face serene. Finally, he spoke. "You know, life is strange. One day you're on top, the next day you're on the ground. One day you command, the next day you beg. And the greatest lesson of all? Pride and arrogance never last." The former boss swallowed hard. Tears welled in his eyes. He tried to speak, but no words came. The old man continued, his voice firm but kind. "I don't hate you. I don't hold anger in my heart. Do you know why? Because hatred destroys the one who carries it. You humiliated me. You broke me. You made me feel like I was nothing. But today I thank you. Because your words didn't kill me. They built me, they made me stronger." He stepped closer, looking the man straight in the eyes. "Life makes us reap what we sow. You planted arrogance, I planted hope. And today I reap peace." The man broke down. Tears streamed down his face as his knees trembled. I don't deserve your help." The old man placed a hand on his shoulder, a gesture full of grace. "It's not about deserving, it's about doing what's right. If I treat you the way you treated me, then I've learned nothing. True greatness isn't revenge, it's forgiveness." And with those words, he gave the man a home, a job, a second chance. The circle had closed. The one who had been cast aside now offered a hand to the one who once trampled him. Not out of pity, not out of pride, but out of compassion. Years later, sitting on his porch once again, watching the sunset paint the sky in gold, the old man whispered to himself, "Nothing in this life is permanent. Everything changes. And in the end, the greatest treasure isn't gold or diamonds, it's peace in the heart." And so his story became a living truth. Never underestimate anyone. Never humiliate those who have less than you. Because life turns, the wheel spins, and the one you mock today may be the one who lifts you up tomorrow. Forgiveness is strength, humility is power, and faith. Faith is the greatest treasure of all. Life is unpredictable. One day you may be at the bottom, humiliated, overlooked, treated as if you're nothing. But that moment does not define you. What defines you is how you rise, how you keep moving when the world tells you to stop. Never let someone else's judgment become your truth. The wheel of life always turns. Those who plant arrogance will harvest emptiness, but those who plant hope, faith, and kindness will always find abundance. Do not waste your energy seeking revenge. True strength is in forgiveness. Your pain can become your power. Your struggle can become your story. So hold on even when it hurts, because the hardest chapters often lead to the most beautiful endings. Life is unpredictable. One day you may be at the bottom, humiliated, overlooked, treated as if you're nothing. But that moment does not define you. What defines you is how you rise, how you keep moving when the world tells you to stop. Never let someone else's judgment become your truth. The wheel of life always turns. Those who plant arrogance will harvest emptiness, but those who plant hope, faith, and kindness will always find abundance. Do not waste your energy seeking revenge. True strength is in forgiveness. Your pain can become your power. Your struggle can become your story. So hold on even when it hurts, Because the hardest chapters often lead to the most beautiful endings.